So I am here at the Women's Sport Conference in Los Angeles, put on by the International Olympic Committee, and I'm here with the amazing Michelle Kwan, who is the most decorated figure skater in the world. Am I right? Let's see, I just want to make sure I get this straight. 5 world titles, 9 national championships, 2 Olympic medals, and Michelle is also the co-chair of this event. So tell us a little bit about what that role involves, and as we're wrapping up, this is the last day of the conference, if there's any takeaways that you have.
Well, it's amazing to be involved in this IOC conference and to be a co-chair alongside with Frank Marshall. I've learned a lot throughout the process, from the beginning of, where was this going to be held, how many people. We were at first very nervous because we weren't sure we can have a lot of people, but this exceeded our expectations, and I hope everybody's learning and having a dialogue. Hopefully not too many fights. I know that there are some hot buttons here today, such as the media and its role in sports and the Olympic movement. But it's been interesting. It's been a learning experience, and there's a wealth of knowledge here.
So any huge takeaway just in terms of what we can expect to see maybe over the next 10 years? Or?
Well, this is the 5th conference every 4 years, so it's a big deal having it held in Los Angeles, my hometown. I'm born and raised here. But I think the takeaway is one of those things that you highlight, things that are talked about in the media, things that are talked about in terms of gender issues, and I think the takeaway is for everybody to kind of stimulate thought and provoke thought and say, okay, what do we need to do back home? What can we change, and how do we do it?
You started out as a 12-year-old competing on the senior level, mm-hmm. and at a certain point in your career, you have to decide when to move on, when to get off the train, so to speak. So, for instance, for a skater like yourself who maybe wanted an Olympic gold medal, but then also wanted to have a graduate degree and a career, trying to decide when to go forward, when to go back, how do you make those kinds of decisions?
The way I see it is different stops, one destination to another destination to another destination, and I see it sort of like a chapter in my life. Skating has been a huge, long chapter. I've been very, very fortunate in my skating career, but it is only a chapter, and when I finished skating, competing, it was in 2005, 2006, I decided to go back to school and also continue and get my master's. And so it's been a long journey, and it's an exciting one because I found another career path, a path that doesn't involve ice skating.
So you've now graduated from the Fletcher School?
I am done at the Fletcher School. Okay. I finished in May, graduated, and have my master's degree, and it's been exciting because I learned so much and had a wonderful opportunity to travel with the State Department as a public diplomacy envoy, the first envoy, and that opened my eyes to international relations, and that's how I focused on foreign policy at the Fletcher School.
So tell us what a public diplomacy envoy does on a day-to-day basis.
Day-to-day basis, actually it's a volunteer position, and I've traveled to Argentina, to Russia, to Ukraine, to Singapore, China. It's been exciting because my focus is young people, students, just to tell them my story, the things that I have learned through sports. Things like hard work, dedication. I think it's throughout this conference you see Olympians talking about that and how they apply it outside of sports as well. And you hope that you can inspire and motivate these kids. As well as my other goal is to make a connection to people from another country, to understand their culture, their values, and to also see similarities between different cultures, and to answer some of the questions that they might have of the United States, because I might be the first American that they have ever met. So giving a chance to sort of give them an opportunity to ask questions.
And so now that you've retired, I guess, officially from professional,
yeah, you put it that way,
figure skating, and you are now kind of embarking on your career, and you have the graduate degree behind you. What advice would you give your 12-year-old self now?
If I had to give my 12-year-old self advice, I guess would be keep on dreaming big. I mean, at 12 years old, I was inspired by so many role models around me doing amazing things, amazing work with foundations and different organizations. And I've been lucky to have mentors, so just keep aiming for the stars.
Do you think that there's any kind of rivalry between the Summer and Winter Olympics, the Olympians, do you think?
You know, I get asked, so did you compete in Sydney, or did you compete in what year, 96, or did you Atlanta? I'm like, no, there's a difference between summer and winter. But I think for the spectator, it's nice, it's every 2 years because they can look forward to another Olympics. But for winter and summer, I think I don't feel competitive. I hope the Summer Olympians don't feel competitive against us. You know, we have so many great skaters, a wealth of kind of up and coming from the junior level even below. And I know that we're, in terms of U.S. figure skating, it's going to be very, very strong.
And it seems like California is well represented lately.
Well, I hope so. And in terms of figure skating, I have a rink in Los Angeles. I have one in Ontario as well. It's like family-run business. But I see these little skaters getting on the ice, and I could see them just light up when they step on the ice for the first time. And I just hope that they kind of had the same dream that I did when I was 5 years old, wanting to be like Brian Boitano, wanting to be like Kristi Yamaguchi, and to be at the Olympics one day. So I hope that even in Los Angeles and in California that there are future stars.
Anything else you want to add just about the weekend here and what's...
Well, it's sad. I mean, now it's coming to a close, but like all things, there is that end. But I hope that everyone had a good time. I hope that there was a balance of enjoying Los Angeles as well as learning and being able to have a conversation with people that you don't have access to sometimes, or make those contacts. And I think this is an occasion to do that.
Okay, so I was just speaking with Michelle Kwan, and thanks so much for spending some time with us.
Thank you very much. I'm Michelle Kwan. I'm an Olympic ice skater, and I consider myself pretty tough.